Namaste everyone. Welcome for the today's video. Today we are practicing something for the hip joints. So hip joints are generally which comprise through the spine joints as well as the one leading the circulation to the knee joints. So many of you may suffer with hip joints congestion, which eventually leads you to lessen the long sitting hours, or if you stand for some time you feel hip joints are getting tighter, and once it is done it slowly starts to congest or pinch the nerves, which will give you the numbness and tingling sensation in the legs. So how do we avoid this and what does it lead to? It directly leads to where you wanted to get the hip bone replacement. There are simple exercises which can help you to open up the hip joints and make you feel flexible. Alright, so let's get into the action now. So first let's start to warm our legs a little bit to give movement for the joints. So the complete legs are helpful with the help of hip joints opening. So first let's start to give some opening for the hip joint in a basic level. So you can keep the feet just above the kneecap. Don't drag it much closer to the stomach because the space over here reduces. So engagement of the hip may reduce. So you can keep it just above the kneecap. Push and release it. So try to function here for a few times. And make a practice of longer breathe in and out when you're trying to repeat this. And let you try to extend furthermore by folding the leg. Only idea is if I get more space, I can stretch my hip more better. So you have to push it like this and come back. It's not easy for a beginner. They feel knee are quite hard and hip joints are quite hard. So you can use your hands here to push. In case if you feel kneecaps are hurting, you can just try to scale down a little bit down. So through this you get a very good hip mobility. So let's try to function on this. Now what you're going to do is just come closer how much ever better you can. So how much ever better in terms like how much body accepts. So I can go till here, but some people may feel hip is getting stretched even at this position. And why this position? Because the core engages better, and core engages means it will help your circulation to become better. Alright, let's ease a little bit. Let's come back a little bit. Keep your hands still here. According to how much your fitness level, try to push your waist high. So when you try to do this one, your left thigh becomes tight and it pushes the blood towards hip. And since spine is tight, it finds the way, where shall I push the blood? So the blood directly goes towards the right hip joint and lead the right leg circulation. So you can just try to move according to your fitness level. So it may demand some energy from the shoulders, but still it is fine. And keep moving like this. Alright, so roughly around 10 rounds is more than enough if you're a beginner. Alright, let you relax here. So now carry the right leg like this from your hands and try to hug it tightly or bring it how much ever closer you can, and try to move right and left. If you can't use your palms, you can use the forearms and try to hug it tightly and try to give the complete hip mobility here. So let us try to access the hip bone in other way by holding the kneecap like this. The other hand will be on the feet. So slowly circle it like this. So let's try to circle and try to give the movement for the hip joint. And let's try to do that in a reverse direction. You may repeat for 5 times. So 5 repetitions is quite helpful for the hip to become free. So now let's try to access another dimension of hip opening. So think your feet and kneecaps are together. In this position you distance them a little bit apart, where you can fit in the kneecap like this and take it back like this. If your pelvic is quite stiff, you may not completely able to do it, but it's okay. The accessible best area, you will have to push and you have to return it back. So even this can be one of the best exercise for hip joints. And we release the leg. By this time you already feel like my hip is quite opened up and it is quite friendly with its action. So now let's try to repeat the same with the left leg. So we start from very beginning. We keep left leg just above the right kneecap. So try to push it down and release it. So try repeating this for few rounds. Say approximately you can do for 10 times. Avoid getting the feet more closer to the stomach because distance reduces. So you can bring it closer to the kneecap. The next one is we try to increase the level by folding the leg. If in case it is quite difficult, you can just scale down. Here this is a scale, whichever you want you can choose it. And either with your kneecap strength you can move down or either with your hands help. So anything is fine. You can just choose anything to get the better opening. We can just try to push for 10 times. So now once you are done with this, get closer. So come closer like this and get connected how much ever best you can and try to reach the thighs. If in case core pushes well, it pushes the blood very well. It's okay if you can't push this much hard, whatever accessible level. Though all practices are safe, you can just practice without anyone's external influence. Alright, let you come back. So now once you have released, once you are done with this, use your backbone to circulate the blood to the left leg. How do we do that? Is you bend the leg, just lift your waist how much ever you can by up. Push it high all the way. Make sure that your right hip is getting tight. That's how muscle squeezes and send the blood on the opened up areas. So obviously opened up area now is the left side. So try to push and release. So breathing will be like this. Inhale, you push high. And exhale, you pull it down. Inhale, you push high. And exhale, you pull it down. Now once you are done with this, try to grab your legs from your hands and try to hug it tightly. Either you can use your palms to get it closer or use your arms to hug it tightly and move left or right. So start to move as such to get the hip mobility as well as stretch. So roughly around 10 rounds you may repeat this one. Now you have to carry right palm to the left feet, left hand on the left kneecap. You have to circle it here. Go around the hip joint. So roughly you can do 5 rounds. And let's try to reverse it for 5 rounds. And we'll stop here. So we keep the legs straight and just feel how hip joints are. Definitely if you have done all this, you can literally feel hip joints are very light. So now you have to pass the breath over there and also you see how much your breath improves. Let's go for the next dimensions of hip opening. So you have to come to this position where palms and knees will be on the ground. So this posture is called Marjorie or the way cat stretches. Cat stretching posture. Inhale, press the backbone, make your neck up. Exhale, pull the backbone high, try to look down. Push your lower back and inhale, try to look up. Pull the backbone high, exhale, try to look down. So now, place the right leg out of the palm, right palm. So I choose my right leg first. I place it out of my palm. Make your left leg go a little bit back. Either you can be with kneecaps on the ground or kneecaps off the ground. Choose whatever best you can. So you have to press your waist and send the kneecap out and then you can bring back. So let me show you in this dimension. So your hands are here, your right leg goes out, your knees are off, you try to press your waist, stretch here, come back. So understanding is so simple. We open the hip joint now, we compress the back so that circulation moves to the leg. Then come back, that's simple. Again press, stretch, come back. Again push hard, come back. So let's do weight here. If you want to rest the kneecap and do all series, it is still fine. So let's open up the shoulders, stay there. Keep breathing long here. And return back. Now from here, let's try to do the same practice on the other side. We get the left leg here, out of left hand. Right leg goes a little bit back. You can do the practice with kneecaps resting on the ground or kneecaps off the ground. Anything is still fine. Press your waist and the kneecap out. Come back. Press your waist and come back. Let me show you the same thing here. Keep your left leg out here. Push your waist, stretch it here. Come back. Push your waist, stretch it here. Come back and once more push your waist. Roughly around 5 repetitions we try to do something which is helpful for the hip joints. So another 2 more times and let's finish up now. So press, just hold here, neck up. Couple of long breath in and out and come back. And one more thing is hip bones. With the hip bones and pelvic bones, we are trying to continue the opening practice here. Let the feet be joined like this. About how much you can push it down. So that's really important for sake of pelvic opening. So just move like this. So move up and down. And let's try to give opening for the pelvic area. If you gain the confidence, you can just start to hit the ground. And try to loosen up your pelvic area a bit. Now, once you are done, you can push forward, reach the best position towards the ground and stay there. Try engaging longer breath in and out. It's not necessary that you have to touch the ground at very first step. It's okay to just scale down your level and you can come back and gently relax.